Today we will look into a scenario in which Mexico forms an empire. And Mexico is a fairly strong country, a bit unstable, with a lot of the northern areas of Mexico wanting to join the Union. The first thing that happens is Mexico invades Belize. Because why? Because they say, Belize, you can do it. Because Mexico believes they can do it. Believes they can do it. Guatemala, they wanted to make guacamole, so they invaded Guatemala. They became strong. Then El Salvador. El Salvador. Honduras, more like Handorus. And they push into Honduras. And then they push into Nicaragua. Because they want a wagwa. Nicaragua, because I want nickels. Loonies, toonies, rainbow money. Well, they declare war on Costa Rica. Because of Costa Ricas. Smells bad. Reeks. Just reeks. Well, they push into Panama. Panama doesn't even put on a fight. They just stand there staring the invaders in the face. And, well, it was at this time a big defensive alliance against Mexico is signed between Colombia, Haiti, the United States, and, no one else. As no one else lives in America. And then they invade Cuba, more like Tuba. And as they march into Cuba, all they hear is tubas playing. Yep, tubas, Cuba. What's the difference? Mexico is strong. And, well, they push down. They annex Cuba. They invade Jamaica. They annex it. They basically just annex the Bahamas. Dominican Republic to cut off poor Haiti. Because, Dominican. And then they decide, what should we do with Barbados, St. Martin, and whatever the islands are, the Antigua and Barbuda. They go right through the Caribbean. Then they annex Trinidad and Tobago. So they invade Venezuela. Because they want capybaras, obviously. Because Venezuela is amazing for two things. Oil and capybaras. The rest, learn green energy. They storm into the north of Venezuela, which is really far. Oh no. But it goes well. And they storm even further into Venezuela. Somehow through the mountains and jungle, whatever it is. They annex Venezuela. They invade Colombia, which they push in to with all their forces. And there's only one weapon in Colombia: cocaine. And what happens when soldiers invade drug addicts? Well, actually, that's false. Well, you know what Colombia is. Israel, Palestine. Israel? Well, eventually it was activated. But Canada. Yes, it's 1812 again. And you know, Canadians will always beat Americans. It's in our blood. What? In our blood? That we will always beat the Americans. And so will the rest of the countries in the world. I wonder why. Well, the first thing to fall is Haiti, and then guess what falls? Puerto Rico. I guess that's what happens when you don't care about a territory, it just falls. They push into Texas, more like Texas. Well, they push up into Texas, not making much progress, but then the polar bears come marching down from the north. Who knew polar bears could push this far? Forces rise up, anti-democratic forces rise up in the South. They call themselves, well, the Democratic Republic of America. And you know what type of government it has? Authoritarian. Well, they storm in. Well, they storm in with the Canadian polar bears. Actually, the polar bears in Canada are so dangerous, they get put in jail! Ooh. Yeah, who wants to arrest those fluffy polar bears? Well, everyone. Anti-democratic forces basically take over most of the Union, but, you know, they're stopped in their tracks. And then this is what's done to America. They all meet for the Treaty of Mexico City, which they annex these lands. Canada annexes these lands. Inner Louisiana gains independence. Oh, nice coast, America. Just nice Pacific coast. You must have a nice Pacific coast, because the Pacific is specific. And the Atlantic is philantic. And the Arctic is Tarctic. Or Antarctica. The biggest authoritarian state ever is now in eastern United States. Now to the Treaty of Port-au-Prince, in which Mexico annexes Haiti, annexes Puerto Rico, annexes Colombia. Now let's look at states, which they basically divide their nation how it should be. Central America, North South America, California, because, well, this is what California definitely looks like, in the state of Texas, which looks like this, obviously. Just look. They designed it well. And then we have Crebonia, which is here. Crebonia. And thank you for viewing. I hope you enjoyed, and remember to like and subscribe us. We're trying to get to 100 subscribers. We're at 25 subscribers now, and if you subscribe, that would mean a lot. So subscribe, 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 subscribe. And that's it for today's video. Texas, Mexico, California, Central America, North, South America, and we have Crebonia. And thanks for viewing. I hope you enjoyed. Wild Mapper out!